Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College welcomes all the 12th standard computer science students. We are going to learn the next part of Unit 1, that is Introduction to 8085 Microprocessor and its organization. Let's learn today interrupts. So before going ahead with the concept of interrupts, let us compare this concept with our day-to-day life. For an example, when you're talking with your friend, if the third person comes and interferes, that is called as an interrupt. You're studying and if your friend calls you, that is an interrupt. If you're talking to some other friend in a mobile, if another call comes, you get a beep sound in between. That is called as an interrupt. Now, how this concept we can compare with our 8085 microprocessor. 8085 microprocessor have their peripherals. The peripherals need to communicate with the processor. So in order to communicate with the processor will be using the concept called as interrupts. So interrupts is just a communication link between your peripherals and your microprocessor. Interrupts. An interrupt is a subroutine call initiated by external device through hardware or microprocessor itself. It is simple words. It is a signal which is initiated by an external device, that is your hardware, which is nothing but your peripheral, or by the processor itself. When an interrupt signal is viewed, the processor suspends the normal executions of the microprocessor and then the microprocessor gives service to that device which has given the signal. After completing the service, the microprocessor again returns to the main program. So, what is going to happen whenever the interrupt signal arises? The processor will stop whatever process it's doing. It will go to the interrupt. It will give service to the interrupt. And once the service has been completed, it will again come back to the main program. Let us take an example. For example, if I am taking a lecture in your class, there is a knock at the door. That is an interrupt. So my main program is to take your lecture. The knock which is on the door is the interrupt. So what I do, I stop the lecture. I go towards the door. I talk to the person who has come. Then I come back to the main program. So this is how whenever an interrupt arises, the processor will stop the process. It will go to the subroutine, that is whatever is the interrupt. It gives service and then it comes back to the main program. Microprocessor is connected to different peripherals. To communicate with these devices, microprocessors uses the interrupt method. This we have already discussed. An interrupt is an input signal which transfers the control to specific routine known as interrupt service routine. Now, what is ISR? Interrupt service routine is nothing. We also call it as a subroutine program. Now, what is a subroutine program? When the main program is on, when you're stopping the main program and going to some other work, that becomes your subroutine program. After executing the ISR, again the control comes to the main program. So what is an interrupt? It is a signal which is initiated by an external device through hardware or by the processor itself. So when there is a class on, that is my main program, there is a knock at the door, there is a subroutine, that there is an interrupt. What do? I stop the main program. I go to the subroutine. The subroutine program is nothing but your ISR. I talk to the person who was coming in the door, then I complete it and again I come back to the main program. This is how an interrupt is going to work. This is an example. Here I have the main program where the processor is executing statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. While after executing statement 3, there is an interrupt. So what will the processor do? It will stop the main program. It goes to the ISR where it has statement 1, statement 2 and finally it is ending. Once the ISR ends, it again comes back to the main program and start executing from where it has stopped. So this is my statement, next statement 4, and lastly I'm ending the main program. This is how the working of interrupt is going to take place. Interrupts. There are 5 different types of interrupts and they are more important. Starting with the highest priority, we have trap, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5 and INTR. So I'm going in the ascending order with the highest priority. Trap, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and INTR. Trap has the highest priority. RST means restart and INTR means interrupt request, which has the lowest priority. Again I am repeating, trap has the highest priority, INTR, that is interrupt request, has the lowest priority. Divide the interrupts into different parts: vector, non-vector, maskable, non-maskable, software and hardware. So let us learn about each and every concept in detail. Maskable interrupt. Maskable interrupt are those interrupts which can be masked or made pending. Whenever there is an interrupt, the processor can stop the interrupt. That is, it can ignore the interrupt and it can attend later on. That is called as a maskable interrupt. They have low priority than non-maskable interrupt. The response time of maskable interrupt is high because we are ignoring it. It may be vectored or non-vectored. This point we will discuss when we are learning about vectored and non-vectored interrupt. A maskable interrupt cannot disable any non-maskable interrupt. And these are the examples of maskable interrupt. RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and INTR. So in simple words, what are maskable interrupts? They can be ignored. They can be made pending. The processor will make them pending. After completing the main program, the processor will go to the maskable interrupt and attempt it. Next comes the non-maskable interrupt. This interrupts cannot be masked or made pending. It is the opposite of maskable. It has highest priority than maskable interrupt. The response time of non-maskable interrupt is low. It is always used in any emergency students, like for example any power failure is there, fire alarm. So whenever there is an emergency, it will be used. So whenever there is an emergency, we have to quickly respond to it. That is why we say the response time of non-maskable interrupt is low. It is a vectored interrupt. Non-maskable interrupt cannot be disabled. Example is trap. So whenever there is a maskable interrupt on and in between it, if a non-maskable interrupt arises, whatever is the work done in the maskable interrupt, the processor will stop it and it will go to the non-maskable interrupt. It has the highest priority. Next comes the vector. We have discussed in maskable, vectored interrupt. These interrupts have their own address. In simple words, whenever the interrupt arises, the processor will be going to the address which is given by the interrupt. It means that when these interrupts are given, it is directed or vectored. Vectored means it is having their address to transfer the control to the specific memory location. So here vectored interrupt, each and every vectored interrupt will be having their own address. Example, trap, RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. Now let us learn about the address of each and every interrupt. First is trap, which is nothing, 4.5. So we multiply 4.5 into 8. Why into 8? Because processor is a 8-bit processor. We get the answer as 36. 36 is in decimal. We are going to convert it into hexadecimal. So divide it by 16. As we always represent the address in 4 digits, we get the answer as 0024H, where H stands for hexadecimal. 36 when we divide by 16, 2 will be the quotient and 4 will be the remainder. Okay, So we got the answer as 0024H. Next is RST 5.5. We multiply 5.5 into 8. We get the answer 44. 002CH. 6.5. 6.5 into 8. 52. 0034H. RST 7.5. 7.5 into 8. 60. 003CH. These are the vector interrupt address. So trap, RST 7.5, 6.5 and 5.5. All these are called as the vector interrupts. That is, they have their own address. Whenever the interrupt arises, the control will be transferred to the address which is mentioned here. Non-vector interrupt. Non-vector interrupt don't have their own address. This interrupt is enabled by instruction. We have many instructions to enable them. One of the instruction is EI, that is enable interrupt. INTR is the only non-vectored interrupt. So the only non-vectored interrupt is INTR. Hardware interrupts. Hardware interrupts are nothing. They are the interrupts which are requested or initiated by the external device, like your peripherals. These interrupts are used to handle asynchronous event. Hardware interrupts are used to handle asynchronous event. Now, what is an asynchronous event? This event occurs after an action has taken place. Asynchronous event occurs after an action has taken place. These interrupts may be non-maskable or maskable. That is, the interrupts that comes under this hardware category, it can be even masked, they can be even non-maskable. The interrupts may be vectored or non-vectored. That is, they might be having their address, some might be not having their address. They have their lowest priority than software interrupts. That is, whenever a hardware interrupt is on, if a software interrupt interferes, the processor will stop the hardware interrupt and give priority to software interrupt. Example, the interrupts that we have discussed: trap, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, INTR. All these five are the example of hardware interrupts. So, simple words, hardware interrupts are initiated by external device. They are used to handle asynchronous event. Okay, so you can see here, trap is a non-maskable interrupt. The rest, all the four interrupts are maskable. And here, INTR is a non-vectored interrupt. The rest of the four interrupts are vectored interrupts. And they have low priority than software interrupts. Software interrupt. Software interrupts are not requested by external device but by the microprocessor itself. Here the microprocessor will be interrupting the device. These interrupts are not used to handle asynchronous event. They cannot be masked or ignored. As we have discussed in hardware interrupt, they have the highest priority. These interrupts are vector. That means all the interrupts have their own address. So whenever the interrupt arises, the control will be transferred to a specific memory location. These interrupts are more priority than hardware interrupt. Example, RST0 to RST7. RST means restart. These are the 8 software interrupts of 8085. Now let's learn about RST0. What we will do, we will multiply 0 into 8 as we have done in the similar way we have done in vector. 0, 0, 0, 0H. RST1, 1 into 8, 0, 0, 0, 8H. RST2, 2 into 8. You get the answer 16 divided by 16. So 1 will be the quotient and 0 will be the remainder. RST3, 3 into 8. You get 24. So 1 will be the quotient divided by 16 and 8 will be the remainder. And so on till RST7. Okay. These are all vectored interrupts. They have the highest priority. We can't ignore it. Okay. So today's class, we have learned what are interrupts and the classification of interrupts, vectored, non-vectored, maskable, non-maskable, hardware and software. And we have learned examples of each and every interrupt. Thank you, students.